Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome back. It's time again for another edition of the Weekly Member Spotlight. I am coming to you live from the field today. I'm at the Red Apartments in Madisonville, and I'm actually interviewing a Village Green service manager. I was trying desperately to be able to get to where he is today, but duty calls and wasn't able to make it across the river to go visit our guests today. But I'm super excited and so very proud to sit down with one of Village Green's very own service managers, Mr. Josh Brierly. So welcome to the Weekly Member Spotlight, Josh.
Thank you.
I didn't even really have to volunteer Josh. He was a very willing participant in this initiative, but Josh has been with Village Green for quite some time. I'm going to ask him to introduce himself, tell us a little bit about who he is and what he does, and maybe Josh, take some time and talk about your pride and joy with Hampton Farms.
Will do. Hello, my name is Joshua Brierly. I have been with Village Green for a little over 11 years now. I am a service manager at Hampton Farms in Highland Heights, Kentucky. We have 288 units here. And currently we're actually going through a site-wide renovation project, fast moving. We're trying to complete the entire project within 2-year time frame. Ownership is very diligent, and we are very looking forward to having all new fixtures and plumbing and cabinets and countertops throughout.
What's really exciting is it feels like you've been here a lot longer than just 11 years or so, because I feel like you've always been a staple at that property. And for us in the region, helping out, Josh goes and helps out anytime we need extra support, and he's a mentor and helps just do all sorts of things for us in the region. But what's really exciting is when you look back, like the first time I ever went to Hampton Farms, the vision of how NKU was gonna grow and all of the vision of renovating the property and doing what we're doing there now with our wonderful client, the Mayor Sens, it really has been something that's been in the forefront for so long. So to see it playing out is very exciting. And I know you and the team have worked very hard to get to the point where that is a reality. And it's been your life for what, about a year now?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, we're going to have to make sure there is some grandiose celebration when it is all said and done, and really relish in the work and the collaboration that went into this property, kind of redefining what apartment living is like around the NKU campus. Indeed.
It'll certainly be exciting to see the differences that have been made just in the time that I've been here. This project will be completed about 8 years after I started here, and seeing it from day one until the finish is just going to, I'll be like a proud papa.
Oh, I bet. Well, let's start with a quick question, and then we'll dive into a little more detail. But how did you get into multifamily? What did you do before? And then how did you get into the apartment industry?
I had managed grocery stores, a bank, and a car wash before I found Green. At the time, I was looking for a way to use my education in business management. Several friends who had already worked for Village Green, and they had told me how great of a company it was, with great people and a strong business model. And I can honestly say at this point that I have certainly found my career.
Oh, well, lucky us, Josh. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was your history, having managed a bank and a car wash and a grocery store. That's pretty interesting. And probably gave you a lot of perspective, because what we do is so very different every single day, and having all of those industries to draw on. Well, what is a memorable story that comes to mind when you think back on your decade plus in this industry?
Several years ago, when the company went through the transition and our new CEO, Diane Bataya, came on board, she actually made the effort to go out to every site and visit with every site team. What was interesting about that was she actually, once she had met with the site team, she took each one of us individually and got our perspective. At the time, I was a tech two. Green, and I was just blown away at the fact that the head of the company would value even the entry-level associates' opinions. I mean, it was incredible.
Well, that is, I can't wait for her to see this and know what an impact that had. So that is a wonderful memory to share. What kind of advice would you offer up to anyone that might be considering a career in this industry?
Develop a sponge-like mentality. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, so that we could listen as much as we talk. use your resources, and don't ever think that you know or admit that you know everything. None of us do, but be determined to find the answers if you don't.
Very good advice. I like that. And what is it about your role? Obviously, I know you're very loyal to Village Green, which I greatly appreciate, but what is it about this industry and about your role that keeps you here year after year?
Well, I'm going to take this from our mantra, developing authentic experiences for not only our residents, our prospects, our vendors, our coworkers. We make a difference every day just by smiling and greeting people and providing great customer service. I feel like that when we take on a new site and we give it the Village Green touch, knowing how big of an impact we make, we certainly, our residents look at us differently. And knowing that we can come to work every day and earn people's trust, I feel like you definitely know you're doing the job right.
I love that. And there is something very, not only empowering, but also very fulfilling when we get to work with and influence the life of people, because where you live is more important than just about anything. If something's going on where you live and you don't have trust and confidence that the people who are there are going to take care of you. I mean, look what happened with the blizzard,
Yep.
it was crazy, and it was the worst possible timing, and everyone's life was interrupted. But I talked to so many people in your role at the front line, really, who said, yeah, I did think that I had to miss, the celebration that was going on at my own house, but to be able to go and help someone make sure that their home was, livable and safe and protected from what was going on, made me feel so very important and valued. And I love that about our industry, that we have such an impact on people's lives. So that was well said. Well, in your role on the front line, I think you have such valuable perspective. I can't wait to hear your answer to this question, Josh. What do you think the most, or some of the most challenging issues right now are in your current role in our industry?
Well, I would say definitely since COVID, the biggest issues has been industry shortages and the cost of materials skyrocketing.
Right.
As I mentioned earlier, our site is going through this property-wide renovation. And, this has all come full circle for us because, our owner, as you said, the Marisons, we're paying more per door than any other renovation project he's ever been a part of. So that, right, I would definitely say that has impacted us the most.
Yeah, that is gosh, inflation has been all over the news this week. And I know that the cost of everything, I mean, the joke right now is about eggs, but those are one example of all the things that, we use on a daily basis that adds up. And when something doubles in price, like it makes a real impact. So I couldn't agree more. What would you like to see happen in our industry in the next decade of your career?
Things like this, more opportunities to network, even different communities, different ownership groups, different management companies. It's always nice. It's fun. It's exciting to be able to talk to people who deal with the same things that we do on a daily basis.
Well, I certainly appreciate that. And I love that our apartment association has so many events and so many networking opportunities to come together with each other and our supplier partners. And it's funny, literally, as we're talking right now, Josh, my email is blowing up because the apartment association is putting on our calendars all of the events for 2023. So since we've been talking, I've seen Day at the Races come through, and every trade show is coming up in a couple of months. And so all of those events that are perfect networking opportunities and a perfect way to get to know what else is going on in the industry, coming to a calendar near you. Well, my favorite part of this initiative is getting to know people on a very authentic level. We all work really hard, and most of the time we're working and we're not, having the chance to really get to know people. So the whole spirit of this initiative is to get to know people, because we're all human beings. And I know you a little bit more than I know the average person I get to talk to every week. But I'm excited if we can shift gears. I want to get to know you a little bit more on a personal level and introduce some of the fun things that you do when you're not working. First and foremost, and I know this is probably the question you are most looking forward to answering, but tell us about your family.
I have a beautiful wife, Andrea. We have 2 children right now. Noah is 7. Luca is almost 3. He'll be 3 in February. And we are expecting our baby girl in February as well. So
Aw.
looking forward to that.
Okay, I have to ask, do not feel obligated to answer if it's not announced. Of course, you do not have to say it on Facebook Live, but do you have a name yet for baby girl?
We do not. It's funny. No one ever believes us when we tell them this, but part of our fun is actually being able to make fun of the other one's names that we've picked out. And we have a theme that we try to stick with, but no names yet. Actually, it's funny because when we had Luca, we were in the delivery room, and on the whiteboard in the delivery room, I had written just a combination of all these different names, and we were getting perspectives from all the nurses and the doctors. Not that my family will watch this, but I certainly don't want them to know. We don't want, family and friends' opinions, just because we don't want it to impact, what name that we're going to give our child. So
right.
Have more fun getting outside perspective and having fun just picking out the name that way.
Well, I love that. And it is fun that you take it between the two of you. I mean, of course, the parents should be the ones naming their children. And we have a baby coming in our family, my nephew, and everyone in the family is trying to tell him about the name. And I'm like, oh, that's not fun. That's not, I'm trying to keep my opinion to myself, but well, I can't wait to hear what her name is. I'm so excited for you. And I can't believe it feels like last week you just shared the news that you're going to have another baby, and now poof, it's almost February.
Yep.
Well, that's exciting. I'm so excited for you and can't wait to see the pictures and hear the name. That's so exciting. Well, what do you guys like to do in your spare time as a family? Any family hobbies?
We like to play games, any and all.
Aw.
We definitely enjoy playing games with the kids. I build Legos with Noah. Me and Andrea love doing puzzles when we have a little bit of time at the end of the night and the kids are in bed, and we just kind of have our USA moments where we can come
Nice.
each other.
That's such good quality time. And I'll tell you, I think there's no substitute for sitting down. It's funny. I see those memes that like you really learn what people are made of and what their character is when you play a board game with them. Well, that's fun. What about pets? Do you have any pets at home?
We do. We have a dog. He's a Peekapoo, which is
Aw.
Snickers. Peekapoo is a mix between a Pekingese, poodle, and Chihuahua.
Okay, I was trying to do that. I got everything except the wah. Peeky poo. What's its name? Snickers?
Snickers, yep.
Oh, cute. How's Snickers going to be with a new little baby girl running around?
He's
around for a while.
We've had him almost as long as we've been married. So
okay.
He's been around for the birth of the other two children, and he always does fantastic. He's so good with the kids.
Oh, good. Well, what is one of the best vacations that you've ever gone on, whether as a family or just you and your wife, or what's the best vacation you can recall?
Our honeymoon vacation to Riviera Maya, Mexico was the most gorgeous destination spot.
Yeah.
However, at this point in life, as a parent, I would say that we love taking both boys to Hilton Head.
Oh, nice.
Carolina. Last summer, actually, it was both of them's first time on the beach. So we thoroughly enjoyed that vacation.
Oh, that's fun. And are you going to be able to sneak in a vacation with the new baby this year? Or are you going to have to?
Probably not this year.
By ear, yeah.
We'll probably hold off and let her get a little bit older before we travel.
Good. Well, again, that's exciting and well worth a pause on vacation year, and maybe next year she'll be splashing on the beach too.
That's right.
Well, what about what is one of your favorite books or most memorable books that you've read?
I've always been a fan of Michael Jordan and hearing his mindset. Definitely life lessons from his airness from Michael Jordan. Just getting the mentality of someone who is, considered to me the GOAT in sports, and just hearing how he went about his developing his work ethic and getting as many rings as he did.
Nice. You're not a competitive person, are you, Josh?
No, not at all.
I didn't know that already about you. What is one of your favorite foods or restaurants to enjoy?
I would have to say it's hard for me to narrow it down. I have three. I would say Roosters for their wings,
Yep.
Marciano's for the Italian, and Montgomery Inn for the meats. Here
on all of those. Are you a sports fan? And if so, what team do you follow?
Absolutely. I'm a sports fan. And being the competitive person that I am, of course. Definitely all Cincinnati teams. I love the Bengals, love the Reds, UC Bearcats in college. And then I've always had a love for North Carolina, for the Tar Heels ever since
Oh, okay.
Michael Jordan played there. So
Nice. So it's funny because again, I'm at the Red today, and one of our associates has on Bengal attire because we are having a Spirit Day. I half expected you to come in with some Bengals gear. Are you going to watch the game this weekend?
absolutely.
Here's to making the Super Bowl again, right?
Who dey?
It's so cool to see how electric the city has become with having a winning sports team. Like you and I in our lifetime, we really haven't known that.
Yeah.
With any sports team. So it's been so incredible to have the energy. And obviously what happened, a week or so ago with the city, it's shown a spotlight on why not only sports and the camaraderie that comes from, having a common something common to root for. But then when something so unimaginable happens, like it was wonderful to see how, our city got this reputation for being so supportive and not only competitive. We want to win the Super Bowl, make no mistake about it, but then to see how we showed up for, the competition. Well, I'm with you and I'll be rooting for the Bengals on Sunday. I cannot wait. What about music? Are you a music fan? And if so, what's one of the best concerts that you've ever attended?
Oh, hands down, Garth Brooks. Best
Ooh.
I've ever been to.
Recently, did you go to one of the recent concerts?
Probably a couple years ago now.
Okay.
I've seen him several times, but a couple years ago went and saw him, and just the way that he keeps the crowd entertained, and is constantly, going through the aisles, back in his younger days, flying across the arenas. He's such a great entertainer.
He really is. And I'm very partial to Mrs. Brooks, Miss Trisha Yearwood, one of my all-time favorites from the late 90s. Like she's like the original, my era country music.
Yep.
So he by proxy will always be special to me, even though I love him too, but because of her.
Yep.
Well, what is one of your favorite TV shows or movies to enjoy?
I enjoy all of the NCIS shows. They've been around for so long. And definitely, hands down, favorite movie of all time, because I'm such a sports fan, Remember the Titans.
Nice. Can't go wrong with a good feel-good sports movie. Gosh.
That's right.
You know what I just watched for the first time, like right around the holidays, was Moneyball. Have you ever seen that?
That is a great movie.
I was talking to someone in a business sense about that. They brought it up and I was like, I've never watched that. And I love sports too, and watched it. And for the first time, I'm like, how did I miss out on this in its prime? That was a fantastic movie.
It is. And it shows how sports has kind of gotten to where they are now with the analytics.
Right.
That was kind of like the beginning of it all. I wholeheartly love that movie.
Yeah, that was so good. I surprised I haven't brought it up in a go meeting or something yet, but I'm like, that sentiment is like, there's a lot of nuggets in that.
Yeah.
Well, if you could, this is a really fun question to ask. I'm always curious for everyone's answer. If you could be any TV or movie character, who would you be and why?
Denzel Washington.
Ooh.
Simply because I admire him for being able to play all of the different roles that he's played, and he excels at them. Doing some research on him, the amount of time that it takes him to basically hone into that role and become that person before he plays that role. It's absolutely amazing, the work that he puts in to be able to play the different roles that he does.
He is absolutely one of the greats of all time. I mean, he's not under celebrated, but he's unassuming. Like and he can do everything, the serious and the funny and everything in between, and the main character, the supporting character. Like I'm with you. I remember in high school watching the movie Glory and thinking like, how could someone make you feel the emotion the way that person is doing? Like, that's the first time I remember like acknowledging what acting was watching that movie. So that's a great answer. No one's ever said that before. So I like that. Well, I know our time is winding down. I got a couple more questions for you, and I'll let you get to your Friday and to your weekend. What is a random fun fact about you that most people wouldn't know?
I have a relentless, being competitive, I have a relentless pursuit to be the best at everything I do. What has helped me to develop my strong work ethic. NKU gave out bracelets a couple years ago, and they say every time, every day, without fail, no exceptions. And I keep that in my desk drawer as a reminder to look at it every day, to remind me to never stop moving forward.
I love that so much. And Josh, I obviously I'm very biased. I know you very well, and you've always been such an incredible performer and such a great support of our company and of your team and anyone with whom you interact. But it is extremely rare to find someone who is so, like, you're very self-motivated and you're very much about just doing a great job all the time, being the best that you could be. And I appreciate that about you. I'm so proud to know you. I'm proud that you are part of our team, and so very appreciative that you own what you do. Like, you know, the Mayersons are the owner of your building, but you own that place. And I think they know that, you know that, and you treat it like it's your very own. And that is why it has been so successful for so very long. So in that vein, you've won a ton of awards with Village Green, and I know that you've been working toward another designation. Is there anything professionally that you want to speak of? Anything just to kind of underscore what you do in this industry?
Sure. The one thing that I love about our company with Village Green is the programs that we have to teach people to be able to move up and to be able to develop the next stage of their careers. And when I was going through the SMIT program, which is the Service Manager and Training Program, I actually won best presentation in my class. And I remember how excited I was to win that, simply because of how hard I had worked through that program and how much I had put into that speech. And so that was very wonderful for me to be able to win that. Simply because, it's voted on by the people that are there from our corporate office and our classmates themselves. So I was very honored to do that. And then I would say the next step, I'm certainly looking forward, I'm in the facilities manager and training program now, and I'm certainly looking forward to that graduation next month as well.
Hey, I had to double check because I was like, I wanted to call you the executive service manager, but I'm like, he's still got a month. He's still got but yes, and those are intense programs. And so I appreciate that you're working in those. And I've sat through many of the SMIT and EMIT and all the designation, all the presentations. And it's not easy to win that best presentation award. It's the best of the best competing for, that acknowledgement. So, well, my final question for you, and I'll let you get back to your Friday, is how do you think the folks that work with you or who have worked with you in your past, how would they describe you as a leader?
Well, I think you've mentioned a lot of the qualities, just in the speaking that we've been doing here today, but I would say a coach mentor who is dependable, determined, happy to help, meticulous, organized, and good with time management. And I feel like in our industry, especially in order to get through a day, you have to have those qualities to be a strong leader in order to be able to accomplish everything that we need to accomplish, to be able to get home to our families every night.
Right.
You've got to have that schedule in place to be able to achieve those things.
Well said. I couldn't agree more. And I think in your quote that you just said, you used the word relentless. And I think you are relentless with your work to get the job done and to be the best at it and to be a performer. So I appreciate that about you, Josh. And thank you again for taking time. I know you've got a very busy Friday on your hands and preparing so you can go home and enjoy the weekend with your family. I appreciate you taking time. I'll be very proud to share this video, and please do have your family watch it. And we're going to share it on all the social platforms. Thank you for participating today. I appreciate everyone tuning in for another edition of the Weekly Member Spotlight. Check us out again next Friday, and hope everyone has a great weekend. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Josh.